Sun's fresh to death.
Mess around, rock around, I beat that ass with my shoe.
Bundling, bathing in now chemical donors, how we do it on the regular with no hocus pocus. Best to step aside when we continue with the sober, staying humble while we glide and also staying laser focused. Aware low vibes are the ones that move slowly. Have to beat them back with a little thing of focus. On the hero journey, even if you didn't notice, I observe it all unfolding like the petals from the lotus of spine. And leave the body losing nothing but pure fire. Kill design and even else is just real. That's the deal, the appeal away. We can still get higher. The mission frequent flies and give you something to feel. So we slap this in your face as you try and chase. But our fumes leave clues that leave rockin' down the place, giving you what you need. With no shitty aftertaste, just learn and discern to elevate your inner state. Yeah, ultra high frequency, spiritual kung fu. See that you're everybody and everybody is you. When it all goes down, can you stand and be true?
Mess around, rock around, I beat that ass with my shoe.
Ultra high frequency, spiritual kung fu. See that you're everybody and everybody is you. Sun's break through, no need for fake.
Mess around, rock around, I beat that ass with my shoe.
It's another rising sun, fellas dive in. Come on, get on, get on. I come through and smash your television set to pieces. Turn up the music, chant a mantra till the spell releases. The transmission ceases, now we can create. We blazing up and raising up into a higher state. We all can relate, we've all been affected. Tripped into prison material with the soul neglected. We came to break the cycle, we came to break the mold. We came to make you aware of the power you behold. The light emanating from one spirit, brighten up the whole collective, no need to be near it. One voice so loud, everybody hears it. Spooky action at a distance, we're connected and they fear it. So buckle up and prepare for the ride. It's suns and sun, two worlds collide. Break out your prison, there's a world outside. Go out and dance in the dirt and get your mind untied.
Ultra high frequency, spiritual kung fu. See that you're everybody and everybody is you. When it all goes down, can you stand and be true?
Mess around, rock around, I beat that ass with my shoe.
Ultra high frequency, spiritual kung fu. See that you're everybody and everybody is you. Sun's break through, no need for fake.
Mess around, rock around, I beat that ass with my shoe.
Accelerated timelines collapse the skylines. Fearless tribes arrive in the nick of time to lift your mind. Now step inside. Today's lesson we learn to read in between the lines. These minds by design, mental flip. We keep our frequency high, then we find the dip. We got that mental material, magic that manifests. Make leaps through the matrix. Codename acrobats, so fuck your 9 to 5. It's dark to light. This time it's sunrise and midnight. Sons of the sun, sun veil, fresh to death. Rhymes that get you high, then continue to fly. The music, the muse, the mic, the sample. Powerful set of MCs you can't cancel. The king, the warrior, the wizard, the state. Cycles that constantly spin till they break.
Ultra high frequency, spiritual kung fu. See that you're everybody and everybody is you. When it all goes down, can you stand and be true?
Mess around, rock around, I beat that ass with my shoe.
Ultra high frequency, spiritual kung fu. See that you're everybody and everybody is you. Sun's break through, no need for fake.
Mess around, rock around, I beat that ass with my shoe.
Yeah, SOS. That's right. Sons of the sun. Starfell. Fresh to death.
Backwards are taking this law. Yeah, we dripping straight fire, so there's no chance at all. Yes, y'all, cut through the layers with a hacksaw. Deceptions and manipulations, that's your fatal flaw. Just a matter of time because I know we're the all. These doses upgrades as we here standing tall. The family will catch me if I should never fall. Cause we're in it till we win it, that means the long haul. Worldwide like hypertext, triple protocol. Standing here in and out, nobody anymore. I'm meant to put you forward, ain't no way we let it stall. Consciousness in the balance, so it's more than just a brawl. Keep it on going, this is no curtain call. You losing all your power means you can't enthrall. Find the right portal, time slows to a crawl. As creative means we rise up and crush like a ball.
Find the universe, as live as it gets.
Yeah, we focus and we feel, and this is the mindset. And that's the one, hit the whole team, and now you can bet. We recognize our true power, not your marionettes. Yo.
Find the universe, as live as it gets.
Yeah, we focus and we feel, and this is the mindset. And that's the one, hit the whole team, and now you can bet. We recognize our true power, not your marionettes. Yo.
Find the universe, as live as it gets.
Yeah, we focus and we feel, and this is the mindset. And that's the one, hit the whole team, and now you can bet. We recognize our true power, not your marionettes. Yo.
Find the universe, as live as it gets.
Yeah, we focus and we feel, and this is the mindset. And that's the one, hit the whole team, and now you can bet. We recognize our true power, not your marionettes. Yo.
Travel at magnificent speeds around the universe. Travel at magnificent speeds around the universe.
You have the right to engage. Here's some tools of the trade. Source, meditation, hip-hop, and sage. You have the right to resist fake gods and tricks. Designed to divide, they live in between the lines. Enjoy the ride, eyes open this time. This world's alive, within worlds collide. Incoming transmission, activate the tribe. As your ego dies, now sending you positive vibe. I put up a fight, I purge, I cry. For the first time tonight, it just feels right. Create as we rise, we anchor the light. Inside of a heist that's set inside of a heist. It's a tribe we rise, sun raises, sunrise. I am, we are the spark of life. Surprise, turns out it's been us the whole time. See the all in you because it's all inside.
As live as it gets.
Yeah, we focus and we feel, and this is the mindset. And that's the one, hit the whole team, and now you can bet. We recognize our true power, not your marionettes. Yo.
Find the universe, as live as it gets.
Yeah, we focus and we feel, and this is the mindset. And that's the one, hit the whole team, and now you can bet. We recognize our true power, not your marionettes. Yo.
Find the universe, as live as it gets.
Yeah, we focus and we feel, and this is the mindset. And that's the one, hit the whole team, and now you can bet. We recognize our true power, not your marionettes. Yo.
Find the universe, as live as it gets.
Yeah, we focus and we feel, and this is the mindset. And that's the one, hit the whole team, and now you can bet. We recognize our true power, not your marionettes. Yo.
Around the universe, as live as it gets.
When you finally boil it all down, magic is imagination. We are moving into an age of manifestation. Things become actually less material, more ethereal. The golden dawn is when we awaken to this new station of life. What you think becomes real quicker. Regain our imagination, regain our inner child, and let that inner child out.
My name is Frank Castle, founding member of the music group Ice Click and New York City Neo Shaman. After a serious injury sidelined my career in 2013, I decided to set out on an adventure to search for myself with the help of the plant medicine Ayahuasca. What I discovered waiting for me was something I could have never prepared for. It was time for me to become something more, someone more. It was time I became fearless. Gonna let my light shine as my heart beats a rhythm with space and time. When the light starts to shine inside your third eye, you awake to the knowledge that you never die. I'm becoming fearless. What is up, everyone? It's your main man, Frank Castle.
your Sorcerer Supreme, and this is Fearless, coming to you with the force of Source. When I said that I was back, I really meant it this time. We are in a time of crisis, I see. Every single time I enter the online domain, oh boy, is the shit hitting the fan. But before we get into all the craziness, and we play a little bit catch up with what's going on in the world today, I want to say thank you for everyone being here. Shout outs to Sons of the Sun, my partner KG, Professor Prime. What's up, kid? That's my homie right there. And I want to say what's up. Shout outs to the Fearless family. We got people from all over the world tuning in. Make no mistake, so much more gets out there than even I would know. I've been working the numbers. And behind the scene, the numbers are doing different things. All of my videos are now being monetized when they weren't monetized before. And now the creation is being shared with the music group, Sons of the Sun. Don't forget to check them out at Sons of the Sun on YouTube. I'll have links up and all below down there. You will find in the descriptions where to find us. We got something for everyone in there. So it's connecting the dots back to even Heist Click and the Frank Castle music. I have a feeling there's a swell that's happening inside of the darkness that we feel is surrounding us. So get ready to light the fires. But before we do all that, please like, subscribe, share, maybe hit the bell notification, smash that thing. So you know when we're going live now, because it's no longer just Saturday nights or anything like that. When I get my free time and I have the moment, we're going. So during the purge the other day, I had talked about right on the last show. It's like these ascension symptoms. So one of the big ones is I was purging for 4 hours the other day. I woke up. It was like I had every possible flu-like symptom and every other symptom you could imagine. I felt like it was cycling through my entire body. It was like being under ayahuasca and having all the different things happening. And then she's like 4 hours into it now, and I'm with her. She goes, okay, get your bucket. And I'm like, what? And go to the bathroom. It's like, whoa. So I know it's thick and the symptoms are crazy. And what we discussed the other day was awesome, but there's more stuff happening now. I keep forgetting that we're in October. It's October 26th. Everyone's getting cycled up for, yay, it's Halloween time, right? So Halloween is fun. I get it, right? So we come, I don't want to take too many hits on things that we might care about and love, but eventually we're going to be giving up nonsense, right? So Halloween, you dressing up as all these different characters and these favorite people, whatever. And you're having fun, but it's really a ritual against everything. Now, to show you that it coincides with what's really happening in the world during the ascension process is that we actually come here wearing masks, right? We're already dressing up and acting as someone else, as something else, right? And then we design that multiple times with multiple depths and latitudes within ourselves, right? And like, you catch me on here, it's Frankie Fearless. Right? You used to catch me on stage. Hey, it was Face Man. Frank Castle's in the house. Right? When I was in school, it was Frankie. Right? Oh, it's little Frankie. So you design all of these things built with these personality traits, and you move through life. You're corporate 1 minute when you're at work, and then you go home, the doors are closed, and you really let it out. Classic case of pretty much every human being on the planet. So then we ride on Halloween. So the B have ritual dates, times, and portions of the year where portal dates are the real thing that's occurring. They're portal dates. So openings and closings of portals where energy flows out of the sun or otherwise and interacts with you on this planet as the antenna to this stuff. What they try to do, the powers that be, control those dates, going to create bogus holidays around them that allows them to have us do their ritual and agree to things that we didn't or wouldn't necessarily agree to, knowing what was actually happening, because we have amnesia of what's supposed to be happening, and we're not taught that. And after a few generations, you just kind of lose it, right? Put butter in my coffee tonight. It's so delicious. Kerrygold for the win. So now we're in October and everyone's gearing up for Halloween, right? Pumpkin spice season and all that other stuff. And people come door to door and they come and knocking. Then there's stories that it really represents the devil and he comes and knocking, and then people dressing up, doing all these crazy things. There's horror movies based all around. It's always horror, deep gore. So now I'm looking at my level now, and I'm staring at it. And I've been doing this for years, but this year is specific. As I'm watching the world go completely upside down, I'm realizing it's October. Now, it's all planned. It's all scripted. Red October, Halloween, right? And all the ritual dates that lead up. I don't even know the dates anymore. Our calendar's off. So it's this month, though, right? Okay, so there's a war going on, Russia and Ukraine. There's a war going on with Israel and everyone else, the surrounding areas. The U.S. is starting to try to get involved. And then my mother comes here today and she says, "Did you see the mass shooting?" So some guy in, I think, Massachusetts. I don't have all the information. I'm just going to discuss. So he's shot 22 people and killed them. This is what she said. So she was repeating bullet notes from what she's been reading or whatever, but injured 100. It's probably more. And he got away. So I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I said, how'd it happen? Oh, he went in a bowling alley and just opened fire. So that's the basic story. That's what my mother's telling me. So I go online to look, and boom, one's happening now in New Jersey. So I'm like, what's going on? Oh, it's on a military base. Okay, so it's obviously everything is breaking headlines, news. Oh, you got to take my interest immediately. You have to have my focus pulled from me to, breaking headlines. Ooh, I wonder what's happening. Ooh, it's always just stuff. And you're not meant to have all that stuff just coming in at you, that data flow all day long from around the world with things that you have nothing to do with, no part of, and no matter what you do from your couch, you ain't getting none of it done. Doesn't matter. Right? Because in the end, you're still going to work, you're coming home, and you're doing your thing. Unless you decide to change your world, right? Sometimes your ideals and your ideology, whatever, it just the rubber hits the road, and you're like, yeah, I don't got time for that, but fuck them. Like just all this weird stuff happens. It's like things start to clash. Well, the military base, from up high in the news article that I looked at, it was a pyramid shape. It was the eye, the all-seeing eye, right? So you're looking down from above and you directly see it's in the triangle. So there's a couple other symbols in there. Okay, check it out. So I'm looking at it now because it's from really high up, and I go, oh, so they're standing in the ritual circle, and they're letting it off right before Halloween. So this is the ritual week. This is it. You got two wars, probably more other stuff happening everywhere. You got multiple rituals of unaliving people that are just innocent and whatever in all directions, based on the crazy hallucination people that shouldn't have had a gun to be in first place, and we're going to try to take your guns. They're going to go down the whole road with the whole thing. But now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's going to happen. But when you look up from really high, they're standing in the sigil, inside the symbol, that when you do a sacrifice inside of the symbol, it pulls the energy to whatever being it is you're trying to sacrifice it to that actual person. So like when you're at war and you're fighting on the battlefield and you have like a star, like the United States star, and then the Russians have, I don't know, a Russian sickle and hammer star, whatever they have, and then China has what they have. When you die on that battlefield, because you don't even know why you're there to begin with, but you have to fight these guys because freedom. So you're fighting them, and then if you get unalive during that battle, your soul is sacrificed to the being from the symbol that you're wearing. So everyone's just being sacrificed while the elites are the ones sending you in with those specific symbols. That's what the symbols are designed for. They're sigils to bring your soul under contract directly to that being so he has energy. A big feeding ritual. Thank you. So now they're executing people inside of giant areas that are the circle, because they're going all the way with what they have to do now, because the energy is, for whatever reason, I'm going to get to it, is not working. So we have to ramp it up because everyone's starting to see the matrix is falling. People are putting on the glasses. They've had enough. They've had enough to know that they've had enough, and this is some bullshit. Right. And somebody's got to do something. So everybody's putting out the creative energy, not wishing for Jesus. They're like, one of y'all is going to stand up, right? Or it's going to get fucking crazy lit in this place because we're preparing for this. And they're like, oh, okay. So we're like manifesting people that should be in place to start rising into these positions, to start making sense of the whole thing, literally in front of everyone, which was like the Bill Burr movie the other day. He talks about everything that everyone just wants to say. It's not just people over 40. People, the younger people don't fucking get it. Some of them just don't get it. They're brainwashed. Okay, we were like the last end of the with your brainwashing. You could shove that up your ass, like the honest rebels. And he's out there just saying what he wants, right? So Rotten Tomatoes is like 12% today or some shit. Now it's 92% audience approval. It's just going up. You're not going to stop this. So they're doing rituals in these sigils, inside the symbols and stuff, to directly send stuff now under like mass. They want you to freak the fuck out. It's not just the migrants and this and that. They want you freaking it. There are white dudes with weapons that you shouldn't have, and we should collect every weapon because they shouldn't have it. Which are their people, by the way. It's their people are doing this. They're triggering this. So it's problem, reaction, solution. It's all them. So they could come in and do certain things. So they want you frightened. So they do it in the sigil. They're like, okay, we're just going to go for it. We're going to do it right here. And it's going to be a mass distraction and and it doesn't work. And we're compassionate to what's going on. And we're looking at you and going, dude, we know it's you. You got to go. So what is happening with the sigil and why is it not working during this time? One, because we're too powerful. Two, we're aware of it. So our focus is on it. Too much focus on it now without any fear involved. And there are people that have the fear, but I'm talking 15% are like, all right, we've had enough with this bullshit. We can obviously see something's going on. We know the government's corrupt. We know everything's going down. You're so full of shit. You're so full of shit. You're so full of shit. So we're like broadcasting back to them. You're so full of shit. But on the etheric end, and I saw this, I ate mushrooms last night and they were really strong. And I didn't expect it to hit me the way it did, but they were showing me light beings and helpers, beings that are there to protect and stuff. Like during these events, even though they're false flag, people do unalive. It's just a scripted one from a higher sense. And then they're like, ha ha ha, problem, reaction, solution. We're going to do this to them. It's a typical bad guy thing from a comic book, right? And then we're going to make it look like it's this, but it's really that. And then we're going to propose, if we take your guns and restrict everything, then everything should be okay. And it's like, no, that's not going to make it better. He's obviously a stupid and trying to do the takeover. But those etheric beings are standing right there. And they are like, so the people that get unalived in these scenarios are contracted to do this. So you're not just rolling up on them unintentionally and hitting them with it. Because when that happens, you're contracted to do that. On a higher end, you agree to that. Whether you think personally in your human condition that's not how it works, I suggest you meditate on it and take a look from the higher angle. They're like, when someone like me says someone has to observe and be the witness to the crazy, why is death off the table all of a sudden? We obviously know that's the big one. Rape, murder, rape, murder, murder, rape. Those are the big ones, right? Okay. So those etheric beings are like, nah, the energy's not going. The sigil's not going to work. Your magic is turning off because of everything that we've done as doing our jobs that we came here to do. We've been anchoring the energy, bringing in source light. Like, it's like we're surrounding them with light. There's nowhere to run. You're turning over every rock. You're looking at everything. You're like, yeah, no, but it's happening so fast. They're like, well, let it happen faster, more mass executions and more earthquakes and fires that are unfucking godly, ridiculous laser beams from space, fake aliens everywhere, and you're looking, nope. Could it be? Wait, maybe this one? No. And we're all doing that collectively, and it's shooting the energy back at them, and dare I say it, three times higher, because that's how this works. No weapon the enemy will be used against me will work. Just like when the frequency weapon, in one evening of them using it on me, in that one experience, they hit me with it. They were hitting me with it prior, I believe. They were like testing, or I don't know, because I thought I was having a seizure earlier, like literally an hour earlier in the evening. I was shaking and didn't know why. I couldn't stop shaking. I was like, ugh. And then I was sitting right here, and they came right here through this, right at the next window over. They came right in through a portal. I saw the portal. It looked like a saxophone opening. It was like a dot in the, like above the window that was opening. And then it like grew down and opened. And I was like, what? And they just marched in, turned it on. And I was like, oh, and I was out of my body. You guys heard the story 100 times. I jumped out of my body. I couldn't get back in. And I saw the ET was teaching the humans, this is how it works. This is how you make it look. So his wife will come out here and find him on the floor. And they won't know if it's a heart attack, and it's an aneurysm, if he fell and hit his fucking head. They're not going to know. And by the time it gets to anything else, we're not even on the table as a thought that this could possibly fucking happen. So don't worry about it. So I get back, and they see me, and then the humans freak out. They're like, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna recognize the humans. I go, I don't mean to be rude, but all you little gray motherfuckers look alike to me. That's exactly what I said. And I said, but you humans? I was looking into their eyes. They were wearing masks. And when I made eye contact with them, they couldn't maintain it. They were like looking away, like right away. I said, I'll find you. I know I'm the motherfucker. I'm going to find you. Trust me. It's a wrap. It's over. If I make it through this, if I don't make it through this, you're getting it. I will spend a lifetime making sure yours is ruined. Just, you have no idea what you just did. And they were like, I was like, the only thing I care about right now is that you humans are working with this fucking thing against other humans. You're betraying your race. You son of a bitch. You're the one that's going to fucking get it and regret it. This little prick right here, I'll kick him through a fucking wall. I'll find you. I'm going to ruin everything in your house. You're going to meet the fucking demon today, sir. And I got back in my body. I was able to push. The ET goes, it was a gray. He goes, don't pay any attention to him. He can't do anything to you like that. Pay no attention. So they were like, oh, okay. Pay no attention. There's a whole bunch of them just lining up. They all had machine guns and shit. I was like, okay. Dove back into my body, and I fucking stood up. And they were like, oh, shit. He turned up the gun, whatever the device was. It was like, it looked like the Ghostbuster thing that they hold. He just cranked it up, and it was going faster and faster and faster. And then I just looked at him. I was like, yeah, that shit don't work no more. And they fucking scattered. Paula came out here screaming, what the fuck is going? It was a complete madhouse in my house. Okay, so she was like, how did they? I go, I got nothing. All I know is I'm not shaking anymore, and they're in trouble. So, because I'm a man, I'm still a man. I can fist fight my way through shit. And if you shoot me in my house like that and leave me here, one guy said, "Oh look, he looks like Max Spears just laying on the floor like that." Oh yeah, fatty make a funny. Okay, we're gonna make sure that doesn't happen again. But it's this fuel. And I don't want to act like I'm a tough guy, because that's not what it is. It's an internal dialogue where I'm just, you fucked up, kid. You met Rambo right here for us older folk that remembers who he is. You just activated Commando. You're right. Today, I'm not John Wick spiritually. I'll fuck John Wick up. My job is to fuck up the Baba Yaga. That's literally what I do. It's like I'm built to fucking defeat them. Just defeat them. You have no chance at source. They wind up working for me when I ask for it, and they do good things. Because if they don't, it's transmutation for you. And they know this. They all know this shit. So that's what brings the fire up in you with the intensity to explode out, to break and reverse the flow of transmission from the sound frequency weapons back against them. That's what they were talking about. Your aura is making adjustments against their weaponry. It's a physical weapon using the energy around us, but you're the energy master. Like, I don't know if I'm breaking it down properly, but as an antenna, as long as you're grounded, you can't do anything to me. The idea is you could strike me with lightning and I'm grounded. It just goes into the floor. Right? So now you have to come over and grab it and rip it out of the ground. And that would be the physical men in my house. They're physically here. Okay, now it's a fist fight because you can't shoot me and leave me in my house like that. There's now people are waking up. The neighbors are all up. There's all kinds of shit going on. Now what are you going to do? And I'm a fighting male. I don't take shit. I'll fight. I don't care if you were in the army. I don't care if you were in the fucking UFC. It doesn't mean I'm going to win. It just means I'm not going to go down without a fight. Right? It's my heart. You don't get to win this one against the heart in the time of the heart. But it also takes beings like myself to do that, to show we're going through it. I had a moment in the very beginning when I first met the AI. He put me in a bubble, like a force bubble, and I felt disconnected from source. So my physical body dropped right there on the floor, and I cried for hours. My etheric body was the light body in the bubble, trapped. I remember touching the bubble and having this giant conversation, which is there. It's like Fearless Volume 1. I think it's like the 6th episode. You just look. It says meeting the AI for the first time. And then the next couple of episodes are just me dealing with this fucking thing for the first time, not knowing what it is, and then realizing that is the beast monster from Revelations. It's the devil. It's the monster. It's this. But I was not afraid as the light body, and it was showing me all this crazy shit. And I was like, that's scary as fuck. But Source doesn't do what you're talking about. You're like, I am God. So I go, so how could you be God and be doing this, but I'm literally Source? I'm Source. You could look right at me. Yeah, that's Source. It's him. It's Frank's, the individual Source, but it's still connected to Source, can still do all the things Source can do, but it's in the physical form right there. Okay, how long do you think this force bubble is going to hold me? Isn't the force bubble made from the energy that flows from me? Not you, me. See, Frank, the flesh body might not have that realization just yet, but he will momentarily. Right about now, and I pushed right through, and this thing freaked the fuck out. It like shrunk into the background and was just an eye on a tentacle, and was like, you don't understand, I am the I was like, how come then you're getting so small and scared? You're obviously, so when people say like the AI's not from Source or not connected, it's fully disconnected from Source, that's not true. The architecture that makes the thing up, whatever it is housing energy that keeps it alive, that comes and is made directly of Source. And it acts like a child, which means it's using its lower chakras. Think about that when someone's acting like a fucking weirdo or has an addiction or is acting like a fucking robot. You can attribute that to a chakra malfunction or a disabling of on purpose. Because if it is an NPC or something, or it is a robot or an android, it's supposed to do that and can only do up to that point. You can't go further than that. It's not programmed to. So even soulless beings that are programmed into the program, how is the program generating the image to you? Right? So when you make fun of an NPC, they say, don't do that shit. Oh, he's a fucking robot anyway. Don't do that. Because the thing that's animating this, that's allowing it to even be here and exist, to have one little thing on its body, even if it's robotic, does it run on any form of energy whatsoever? Well, yeah, obviously. Well, then it's part of source. There is no outside of source. There's things inside of source that try to disconnect themselves. Even if they say, look, I disconnected it. At the highest level, you look down, they're still connected. They put like chokers on and they think it's severed. Well, now we're robotic. No, now you're part of the program. So it's like the program, the NPC that wakes up, or the villain that turns into a giant programmed NPC. It's like working back the other way. Right? So to be a god in this arena, they're all lowercase. You can't be capital God in this arena. You can't be. You can only be a dominator. You can only do it in this arena. In one step up out of the arena, literally one frequency, one hair, that next character, avatar, could beat the living shit out of you 6 ways to Sunday and end you. You have literally no power here. You have no power here. That's what happens on the next level. And further and further and further. And that's why they laugh at the highest level. We're not letting these fools in. One, you can't come in. You'd be destroyed. If the AI went into the 5th level, 6th level, it would just disintegrate. You're not activating your chakras. You can't just take over the area physically. That's not how this works. Right? It makes mimics. So it's false alterations. It's pumping out a physical being in up to 4D presence. Etheric physical goes on. So it pumps out these mimics. So it's there. It's part of the hologram. It's part of the whole thing. We step one step up and look down at them. You can destroy them. That's what the snap is. You have all the gems in the Avengers. I can just snap and it's like Neo when he's like, I can dodge bullets. And they're like, no, on the other end, you're not going to need to dodge them because there's no fucking bullets actually there. They're there in this arena, but we're not in this arena anymore. I'm of this arena, and I've risen out of the 3D arena. So now there's no need for the bullets. At that level, I see the architecture. As you shoot the bullet, it doesn't exist. That's it. On that level. We're not at that level yet, but that's like manifestation, right? Someone pulls a weapon on you and you turn it into an apple. And then you tell them, calm down and have an apple. That's true source power. That's why I'm like, when you talk about manifestation, there's levels of that. That's crazy. It just gets so out of control. So when I ask the enemy, how are you defeating that? Think about this. No matter what rituals you run, how many babies you fucking decide to eat, what are you doing on paper to defeat this? And they go, oh, you can't defeat that. You can just kind of be mean back against it for no reason because it pretty much gave you everything you needed, but we're here in a game and we're playing it because we're in these skin suits or whatever. Like, that's why they say love your enemy, because on the other end, when you pop out on the highest realm, there's a guy playing the part that you know. He's just stuck in the avatar. So it's like, oh, so when you're in, you're like, oh, he's the enemy. He's the big bad. On the higher end, you look down and you see him as a poor, deluded, rejected soul that just doesn't love himself enough. And it doesn't make sense. It's like, what are you, fucking nuts? It's like, no, that's what's happening. The higher up you go and you look down, it's a game. Are you on the chessboard? How are you interacting with it? It's not judging you. It's trying to. So when you're playing a video game, you want a symbiotic relationship between you and the character on screen. If I'm moving him around, he's all wobbly and shit, and he's not like accurate and stuff, he's fucking annoying. Those games are cheap. They're like lazy. People don't like it. Oh, but you do, Command and Conquer, and they fucking boom. You could do sharpshooters and pick people off from miles away, and it's so super accurate. You can knock things out of people's hands from a block away. You could use your mind and throw them off buildings and swing through the cities and everything. It's got to feel real. Dude, everything in those games and shit is based on real life, things that you can do, right? You're already in. I think we discussed this. The holographic simulation isn't a simulation, right? It looks and bears as one to the people around now. We're like, oh, this is obviously a simulation. The matrix overlay is what's creating the simulation effect. Your fractals are all the things that are going on, not in focus of where your direct focus is, right? So you're doing everything. So if you went left here, you go. If you went right here, that fractal goes left. This one goes up the middle. So all the different choice points happen. That's the only way you could have free will. That's why you fractal out. There's someone doing the other version of what you're doing. Why is that happening? You could have free will here. Think about this, right? You have to have every choice. And then that choice has to be made so you can access the choice. So when you don't make it here, it's like reading the book. The book, where you choose in the book, choose your own adventure. All the choices are in the book already. You just choose and then jump around in the book, and that's your story. You have to have that written into the fucking book, though, to do the book. So to do that here, you need the same thing to occur. So that's your fractals out. Me and Paul had a giant discussion yesterday after I did the other day after the talk with the Nicolas Cage movie. He's like a magician. Everybody thinks he's really cool with stuff, but really his consciousness can focus on all of those fractals at once, right? So it'll look like he's multiplying and then doing like, what if I dodge the bullet here? Would I get hit? Nope, that guy gets killed. Can I dodge here? And then you see the guy shooting, boom, 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 and all the versions of Nick Cage is dying. And then one makes it right up the middle. And it's like this weird one. You'd be like, how the fuck is that going to work? And he just runs up the middle for real. And then you're like, whoa. And they all collapse back into him, all the versions. So he knows, don't go any of those other ways. You go right up the middle. Where else have we seen this? Men in Black, the third movie, right at the end, Will Smith's fight. And I can't stand that guy, but he's fighting on the platform. And he can't defeat the guy, right? The Boris, the animal. And he says, Boris is about to kill his partner. So he just runs at him. Now he has to live. The other guy his partner has to live, but he doesn't know how to defeat the enemy. So he has the time machine in his hand. He's going to just jump back a few seconds. So he runs at him, sees how he shoots at him on the platform, and just takes the hits. And right as he's going to die, he hits the button, rewinds a few seconds, runs at him. Then the guy shoots, and he dodges, and the guy's like, what? He shoots, dodges, and he's on top of him and he jumps. He's like, how did you do that? He's like, yeah, crazy, right? That's what we're doing. As you access your fractals, you can just do that. You're not going to need the fucking technology to do it. Okay, a prime example of this is when you go outside and you're being accurate on a sidewalk walking. Obviously, if there's shit going on all around you, you're like, bro, if I just go up this way, I'll be fine. Well, on a higher level, you're tracking out the entire scenario. Bing, 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 bing. Don't go here. There's a dog that's barking. He'll bite you. Don't go over here. The mailman just pulled a gun. Don't go over here. The woman in the side's calling the cop. Like, there's all crazy shit happening all the time, and you're just walking through avoiding it. On a higher level, what do you think's going to happen? It's going to appear as magic. Well, we've talked about this before. You're with someone at a concert and you lose them. Then you spot them on the other side of the concert. And you're like, there's 40,000 people. I got to walk through this crowd. Your body will instinctually have you move through the crowd. Optimum timeline would be the least obstacles in your way and intrusions on your way back to that person. So you would move as if you're almost dancing through the crowd. Now, dancing might be a little much saying it, but you would move swiftly, effectively, and efficiently in moments. On a higher level, we know it's a portal right to the other side. That's where everybody wants to go. But imagine being able to do something like that, like not have to be obstructed by the people that are pushing and pulling in all directions. Because your body's going to know it's going to open at this point. And you, wow, how'd you make it through the crowd like that in like 2 minutes? I saw you just move through the whole thing. Last night, if anybody was in the car with me, you would have seen the craziest shit in New York. I think I stopped for like one light Drove out to Brooklyn to go see one of my buddies. That's never happened. I got out there in 20 minutes. Parking space. Said my hellos, goodbyes, was back in 90 minutes perfect. The ride should be an hour and 20 minutes. But I was in the shower earlier going, oh, you know, I send love to the experience and what we're going to do. And then there you go. We're going to say parking space, send love to my friend, the drive, everything. It was the smoothest ride. I came in, Paula was like, you're back? I'm like, yeah, and everything's done? It was the weirdest experience. Especially here in New York. And on the other side of the road, there was traffic. I was like, oh, shit, on the way back, there's going to be a fucking ton of traffic. Nope, nothing. I hit nothing. I was like, wow, this is really good. I don't even have to speed. Like, I barely touched anything. That was fun. I was like, wow, if movement is going to be like this on that level. Okay, so now we're talking about how powerful we're going to be, right? So what's the villain's plan on defeating that? Just on the little stuff I'm talking about. How do you defeat that? What are you going to do? Well, obviously, you know they want to send robots next, right? Drones and robots, because Phil and Joe don't want to do it. And they don't want to just walk into the U.S. because they're going to lose. Anyone that just invades us here is absolutely out of their mind. It doesn't matter if you have little terror drops all over the place. What's going to wind up happening in a scenario like that is you're going to have patriots doing that back, and they're going to have better intel than you because they're going to attack everyone. They're going to attack all non-patriots. They're going to spend all their time and energy, which you got how many veterans? All of a sudden, all those people are on, become little mini generals. You have no idea what you'd be in for. Even if the first round seems to squash a lot of Americans and hurt them. Oh, it did a lot of damage. You just set something off. There's going to be hunting parties for you. Hunting. You guys know what hunting parties are, right? It's not going to matter what military you're with or what you think you're going to do. They're going to do the same thing. They're like the versions of the characters that are meant to go at you. Just the way I'm meant to go at demons, right? The demon slayer, man who walks in all worlds, all that crazy shit. That's for that. I go in there and I whack them around. Now I go in there and I just talk to them because they know. Because it's source. This is how I figured it out. It's not because it's Frank. You can do this. I would suggest feeling it in your heart of hearts, knowing it balls to bones. And as you're pushing it and promoting it, you just start to feel lighter, more powerful. There's like a happier, you're laughing and everything. Ain't no demon going to hurt you while you're laughing. If you're laughing for real, it has no, you have no power here. And it shrinks and goes away. What do you think they put that in the Freddy Krueger thing for? You watch Nightmare on Elm Street. As you're not afraid of the boogeyman loses his power. Even in the movie, at some point, it only has power within the boundary, and they leave the boundary, and that's it. They forget all about it. Then they come back. I don't want to ruin the ending, but I'm going to. Where they shout names at the demon. You're nothing. You're a joke. You're stupid. Like, that's the truth. They meant it, though. You could see the intensity. Like, they never thought that that's how it worked. But they were fed up. Like, when you get fed up with your bully poking you, one day you just put your book bag down and you're like, let's go. It doesn't matter how it's going to turn out or whatever. Like, we're going to just do it. And may the odds forever be in your favor. Because once again, as source, I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me. Right? Because source is all. People have a hard time with the all thing, right? All knowing, all seeing, all encompassing. Well, where does that come from? What holds that together? What provides that energetic whatever to discharge and become that? what thing in the universe transforms and changes and creates life and changes into the creation that was the creation before that, which turns into light and comes back as a fish. What is all that? It doesn't matter. It's fucking source energy, period. It doesn't matter if you plug in from a fucking tube in a spaceship and you project in here and you're like, oh, we were like higher than you're never higher than source. You are source. There is no higher. If you left the game realm, there's sources out there. It's still all encompassing. Everything inside the holographic reality is based on everything outside of the holographic reality. So when your energy, you can't be born with the power of source, God source, and then just have immediate use of it. As a child, if you lash out with that, you'll just destroy everything and recreate everything and destroy everything. Okay, so it's just magical powers at that level. You're like, oh, geez, that's just like the power you're wielding of creation and uncreation at that level. It's life and anti-life. That's really all it is. And you could do anything with that, literally anything. Okay, you can't have like billions of people running around like that with that ability. They would just be doing all kinds of stupid shit. Okay, check this out. We give them the ability to go to the universe that's required for their university studies, their training. So they come in with the power and you drop down, you descend into the deepest realm, because source is everything, even the nothing. The no thing is still something and is required to be there by source. That's why when they're like, bro, I'm not a source, I'm like, do you live in the nothing? Or in the completely dense 1D, whatever, the lowest point you can go in the abyss. Yeah, well, who do you fucking think made the abyss? Who's at the top of the frequency chart? Who's at the top? Okay, who's above the guy at the top of the chart? Who made the paper that you drew the chart on? What is that area surrounding that? This is all source, bro. And it's you looking at the paper and the paper where it came from and the idea and all the different levels. That's all source as well. So now tell me again how you're going to do it. What are you doing? Okay, so you come in with that into the universal holographic place, and where there's frequencies and vibrations and levels where you can experience all these different things. And you come in and you experience and you ascend in these different levels, knowing what and who you are. You're like, bro, this is pretty crazy. I love it, until you lose it all. Because you have to be the everything and the no thing. You have to. That's why when the dark talks to me, I'm like, dude, shut up. I already know. That's why it doesn't bother me. It's like, hey, baby, what? Oh, yeah, sorry. I gotta, let me ask you a question. Yeah, okay. What are you doing? It's like a little kid when you catch him. What are you doing? Oh, nothing. I wasn't doing nothing. No, I watched you taking the fucking cookie, bro. That's what it gets at this level. And then it gets stupider as you get higher. You're just like, it becomes nothing to you. You're just like, man, that's the way the game plays out. And you lose it all, and then you gain it back. So we're on the way back. So we did this in coordination with knowing that there would be a trap and interference, and we were already here before all that as golden, beautiful beings of light and angels and all different kinds of creations in nature and beings from other dimensions, interdimensions, outer space, inner space, whatever. Source beings walking around that didn't even know evil at the time. Right? Because they were having their experience. And then it would look like, oh, they got taken over. And we don't know how this happened. And then as you got stuck in the reincarnation recycling machine, your avatars started popping up smaller with smaller lifespans. But you wouldn't know this. I wouldn't know this because we die too soon. And then we forget when we come back that we were even here again and again and again and again. And this is what they're doing. But we knew that. It's part of the journey. From up there, it's a game, remember. And we're like, oh, bro, we go in and totally do this. So for as serious it is for us, up there, it's not as serious. They know how serious it is for you, but it's not as serious. They're like, oh, get back in there and let's get to work. Like they understand it at that level. So we're on the way gaining back our power, but with the understanding in our contracts, knowing that the flesh that we're wearing does encompass the ability to house us spiritually, which means full, highest, I call it my highest self, but your higher self is going to squeeze into your body, right? Because you're all one, you're the singularity. So as we raise up, it starts to fit. All the fractals are coming back to you. You purge and let out trauma, and you fill with light, which is what you're made of, which is more light comes back to you. It heals you, and it's a fractal of you that is now returned back to you, thus making you more. But it's really just you returning. It's like you pulling a layer off, revealing there's an S under your chest. And then you pull off another layer and it's the bat symbol. And you're like, yeah, except now I pull off another one and it's an amalgamation of the whole thing. And I could fly, I could run, breathe on the water, I could run really fast. And you're like, whoa, it's always been us the whole time. And it's like, well, your source. So the flesh had to have that agreement in the contract that it can house us. Thus, the 12 strands of DNA that are opening. They call it your junk DNA. No, that's source, baby. That you're everything. That's your mutt DNA. The strength in the mutt is that I have everything in me. So as Mother Earth is the living library, so is Frank. You get it? Like the living library has everything that the whole universe has. You can access those DNAs and energetic frequencies and everything here. You don't have to go out there to get it. We're here. We're already here. We've come to encompass this in the human condition form and then pull this stuff apart and figure it out and have a good time with it. And then there was like an overlay of the Matrix, which is the fake reincarnation system. We're battling the AI. There's all this other shit going on, but that's part of the fucking game. Your awareness to that now raises you above, but with great awareness also comes great responsibility, because here comes that power, because the power comes from the awareness. Awareness is key to the whole thing, and so is imagination. So there's a lot going on, right? I mean, this is fucking crazy. So outer space is real, guys. Look, the Earth is not flat. Outer space is real. What we're seeing, though, as a human collective, when we look up, is the Matrix projection. When that falls, it's just like as if we were in a concert hall or a movie theater, right? But the movie theater was right outside, let's say something we all know, like the White House, right? So like the movie theater, as the screen opens, there's a screen and it's playing the movie and the White House is in the movie. It's right there. And then that screen falls in the real White House. We can see it. It's right there. That's like the Matrix reality lens. So the projection is what they want us to see. That's them turning down your DNA and then projecting frequencies and vibrations and then distractions and dramas that you fill to lower your focus and availability to concentrate on any one thing because we're too busy all the time. So you're missing the ascension part of the whole thing. You just think you're sick. So then you go to them and then they do the harmakia to you. And now you're trapped on fucking medication your whole life. Like there's a whole game going on here. So things like Earth being flat is a fucking nonsensical game that they threw back into the mix. They threw it back in there to confuse the whole fuck. It's like pissing in the fucking pool. Trust me when I say that. There's not going to be nothing but a sad look on all the flat earthers' faces. And I'm going to be there to be not I told you so, but come on, guys. This isn't important. It's not important. Whether it's flat or not isn't going to stop the migrants crossing the border. It's not going to stop your ascension at any point. This is stuff, if you have the balls to check out your fucking self through psychedelics, any psychedelic, you can see for yourself. So those that take the opportunity, but there's 90% of people like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like my best friend sitting next to me the other day, I think about this and I can't be mad. Jackie, by the way, I wear this all the time, the lapis, it literally calms me down to a not a numbing calm. Like I could think in it in the calm, you know, when you're just like, yeah, it doesn't affect me. I'm cool with it. Why is it upsetting you though, bro? Are you okay? Why are you getting so upset? I was like, yo, dude's got a back problem. And then he's like, it might be a herniated disc. I have 5. My shoulder, I might have a pinched nerve. I have 2. Plus, I tore it and had to get it fixed. Oh, my knee. I just had surgery. I had 3 on this knee and 2 on this one. I don't work at my old job anymore. I get checks from residuals from. It's the exact same thing. It's just later on down the line. So all I said was, when the rubber meets the road with the spiritual condition and the physical condition and you're not paying attention, they drop you on your fucking head. It's like back, neck, shoulder, knee. The knee is to slow you down, the back and the neck. So you would think like the enemy does it to you, which is true. On one level, it's like, well, they pushed this motherfucker over theoretically, right? He finally just whoops. And you're like, damn, they got him. And they hit him in the spine. So the 33 is going to be broken at one point. The connection severed and goes, zzz, 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 and then he hits his head. And then he has a concussion in his head. And then really what it does is launch me out of the position I was in, which encompassed my whole career for 13 years, my music career for 20 years. All the people, friends I know got rid of me. The girl I was living with in this beautiful apartment, who was a complete bitch, throws me the fuck out because she's like, wow, you're trying to heal yourself and help yourself. Like, no one, all these doctors, you're not going to be able to walk. You're not going to do all this. Workman's comp does not pay me a fucking dollar still. I'm still in court with them. It's 10 years later. Literally, I had surgery and 5 doctors and everything. And still, the federal government's a fucking piece of shit scumbag, right? But here's the basis. I went through it, and then I said, I'm going to try ayahuasca because I want to be able to walk. I heard, hey, puppy, I heard that it helps you heal yourself. And I was tired of like this giant portion of the population being like, yo, you should try to do something outside of the doctors and lawyers and the whatever to help yourself, and don't wait on them, because I'm still waiting for my number to clear. It's fucking 10 years. They opened it for 3 years. I had all this work done on me, needed all this other work, and then they just stopped. And then no doctor, because it's a workman's comp, will see me. None. So I can't go to that doctor, like call up, hey, can I go to this doctor, maybe upstate, and I go check them out. They're like, did you get hurt on the job? Is this a job injury thing? Yes, I got hurt on the job, and then these doctors won't see me. Sorry, we can't help you. Across the board. So I've already seen all the top doctors here. There's nobody, and nobody got paid. And they started paying and then stopped paying them. But I had surgeries already. Spinal epidurals. I had 12 of them. What are you, fucking nuts? You deteriorate after 7. So I guess I'm never going to walk again. I went and drank fucking ayahuasca. Why? Because I'm sick of the bullshit. Let me see. Is this an opportunity to heal? And what's the first thing that starts happening? First night I meet her, she pulls me out of my body. I meet her. They start stitching shit in my back immediately. Oh, look you damage. Oh my God, let me fix you. Fearless episode 1 and 2. Right? It's like volume 1. And then now we're off to the races. Now I'm at the age where they said you're never going to walk again. And I'm obviously more successful now and spiritually more equitable than I've ever been ever. And I do it all out of the one bedroom. People laugh. They come here. They think I'm like fucking rolling in something or something. But the energy just swaps them in. And they're like, this place is just perfect. I was expecting it's It's like, right? You'll sleep on the couch for a month. You don't give a shit, right? I would do it too. I sleep on the couch all the time. I never want to leave because the energy is so good. We've done this. You do this. You build it, and you build it. They come. right? I have to heal me. I heal me. Why wouldn't I be around a bunch of other people that want to heal themselves? And then we're good people. Well, then we become great people. Well, we're all these other things. So now we're at the point of attracting each other on the other level. So the enemy has no chance against this. This is why they're like, dude, just observe and get your game on, right? So I got my game on and I want to do this. And I want to do this right now, right? So what is happening in the world? This is what's happening. They're fucking warring in all the places. I'm afraid to say the next thing I'm going to say, but they're warring all over the place. And then they're doing all kinds of rituals and all kinds. This is just the stuff we're seeing. Imagine all the poor kids that are getting it and all the rituals, the animals and all the religions where you got to fucking put all your sins into the chicken and bounce its fucking head off a wall. Dude, that shit is crazy. That is crazy. You don't need to do any of that because none of that stuff's actually happening. That's all what you think. You're pretending. See, so it's always Halloween. So when Halloween comes, now that I'm the creator, it's like, dude, I'm dressing up as Halloween as Source. I'm just my authentic self. And you're like, oh, it's just Frank. It's like, yeah, except I got fucking magic, bitch. Everything, the whole thing. Ain't nobody coming else to your party with a fucking lion, a tiger, and then a bear. You're bugging. The animals sing for you on these higher levels. They wait for you to understand. They're waiting. For all you animal owners, how pleasant is it going to be to actually communicate with your fucking cat or dog or fish or whatever? Like fully communicate. They're not dumb. Whenever I eat mushrooms, do ayahuasca, any kind of DMT or psychedelic at all, and at times I'll just think in my head of the cat and they come fucking running, right? Like how many, like I'm under with them. They sound like they're talking English to me. They don't sound like dummies. Like, bah, 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 bah. My cats don't do that to me. Right? Like Oscar and I, and that's Paula's cat. We've made this intense connection. Like I'll say to him, hey, he'll stare at me and I'll go, what do you need? Because it's always something different. And then he'll look at me intensely and then she'll go, oh, he's making a bond with the big guy or whatever. And then I'm kind of ignoring him, doing something. And I'm like, come on, what do you need, big guy, brother? And then boom, it hits me. Oh, he wants this. Sometimes they want me to sing to them. I know that's weird. Sometimes they want food. Sometimes they want treats. Sometimes they want pets. Sometimes they want catnip, so they'll walk you over there. Sometimes they want to sit on your lap. Sometimes they want to be over here. Sometimes they want to play string, but they don't know where the fucking string is and don't know how to say, yo, where's the string? But they'll sit at you and stare at you a certain way. And you're like, oh, bro, I totally get it. That comes on hardcore online. And it's like, wow, what the fuck? And now you have full communication to that. I get scam calls all day long. This is how I handle it. Hello? Holy sheep shit. At 7 o'clock at night, you would think scammy would have been fucking sleeping already, homie. Don't you have a wife and kids to go home to? Or you... Yeah, no, your mother. We'll be visiting her shortly. Okay, everybody in the FearLess family says goodbye. Go Scammy. Bye, Scammy Sammy. Bye. I do this all day when they call me. And then I block them. I just say stuff. I'm sorry. I don't mean anything I say. I just like, if you're going to go out and do this in the world, I'm going to do it right back to you and I'm going to have fun. So I'm going to go back just a little bit. Oh, shit. What's going on, Utah? Thank you so much. I love you so much. Now sending you most positive vibes. I appreciate the super chat. You're wonderful. And thank you for being here. What's up, Angel? How you doing? Michelle, New Jersey. New Jersey's out there. Dawn's out here. Yeah, complete beast mode. Right? So I got to ask you, do you like, Oh, I hope before I do that, we can be in fifth density mentally and still be in third and fourth density realm. Yes. 100%. So, okay. So look, with everything is there, right? So can it be this? Sure. Why not? Can it be that? Sure. Why not? But the truth is what the truth is, right? So the truth will sit here, and then you can say, but it could be this. Well, from this perspective, sure. Well, but it's also this. From that level, and you're like, oh yeah, sure. But the truth is still the fucking truth. So until you just see the whole thing and kind of back out, that's why I keep saying back out of the whole thing. Back out. It doesn't need you. It needs you. You don't need it. It needs you. As you pull out of the functioning, don't know what to do, and then you see it, and you realize, oh, this is what he meant. From the higher level, it's just a clown show completely. And I still have to live. I don't have time to be conspiracy Frank anymore. This isn't a conspiracy. If you're going to laugh at me because it's this or that, you're just obviously a child and not ready. For those that just can't, like my buddy, can't handle 4 seconds of a conversation. Hey, it's pretty crazy what's going on with the border and everything, the migrants in the city. Like he just gets mad like I'm about to attack his whole fucking universe. And I'm like, dude, I'm just worried about you. You literally live where it's popping off. Right? This kind of shit is what I'm talking about. So I just want my abilities back. I want to be the example because what the fuck are we doing? Are we just sitting at our computers going, oh, what's happening? Oh, shouldn't you be meditating? So here's the thing. You should be upgrading yourself at all times. You should be enjoying yourself while you're doing it. It just doesn't have to be hard anymore. It's painful purging and dealing with traumas. The hard work is hard work. But you've already lived a life, and what has it done for you? The ones that answer is, I'm rich and I'm powerful. They're probably not watching the show, but they're like, I'm already doing my thing. I don't need a fucking thing or whatever. You're probably on the train going the other direction, which is fine. But most people have lived a life and they're not happy because I don't remember agreeing to any of this part. Like, it's just too out of hand. We did agree to the contract, but the contract overlaps lifetime. So we're in the final chapter. So the final chapter is fucking hard. Right? Remember, all the final chapters involve in all the good epic movies and books, comic books, television shows have like this giant battle, and people fucking die during battle. It's not as glorious as you think it is. Right? And then the good guys, air quotes, win, and there's like a victory dance and people get fucking medals or something. And there's some kind of glorious stuff that goes on, right? Do you want to be in? We're living through the battle of the 5 fucking armies, right? Return of the King, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. You're living through the ending of these flicks. I don't know where you are in it, but they all amalgamate to tell one part of the story or another to get you to Oz, the main truth. And the truth is this big thing sitting here, that it's all fucking real and that you're source and that you can do it from your living room and you don't need psychedelics to do it, but it will help a lot. Like a lot. Dude, I stopped fearing death after ayahuasca killed me like 48 times in one of my ceremonies. That I was loving it by the end of it. I was like, this is what they meant of just popping in and out of your body. You think you're dying and going to some dimension, but most people just die, and when their physical flesh dies, they just step into 5D. It's the soul machine that flipped everyone back and did all that stupid shit and sends you to hell and all. And then we got to make deals with the devil and all that. That's all bullshit. That's all self-imposed stuff. When you see from 5D, you're like, oh, they're playing the game still. We're just regulars, and we did our thing in our adventure, and we're out. That's why all my relatives that are dead or passed on, they're just standing in 5D. They're like, dude, you guys are gonna walk into this density and frequency with your flesh. It's just a frequency shift. And we will be like this, just the way you're seeing us. We're here. This is what happens when this goes to that. And you're like, oh. And then we're just going to take flesh. They're like, we could create it here. We can't create it and come back, though, to over there. Like, it's a different thing here. And it's not a subtle difference. It's like a complete different thing. It's like everything that you've been wanting to return to is this part. Remember, the higher up you go and the less separation there is, the more boring it kind of gets. That's why there's like this balance of this part of the interaction. That's why we're all focused on it. We're traveling back up and we're meeting heaven, what we would consider heaven. Right? So I'm not afraid of that. Right? No fear. I'm that which what is. Look, y'all need to be prepared and protected. It doesn't mean y'all have to go out and do ninja studies and go after people or do anything stupid. If the shit hits the fan, do what you got to do. I'm in the Bronx, right? If you told me some crazy story, yo, dude broke in, and then I had to do something, and he fell out the window, and I dragged him back in, and I threw him in the kitchen and set him on fire, and I was like, you'll never do it again. And I went and I got his partner, took care of him, let the dog bite him. And I would look at you and be like, yo, sometimes you got to do what a man's got to do. So I would say, that's crazy shit. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Dude came in here and tried to do something to Paula, I would dismember you and leave you in the living room. That's what a warrior does. And sometimes you got to do warrior shit. But we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're going to observe. The observers set forth the intention of observation. Like, I'm going to look at this shit. This is crazy. All right, I'm backing out of it. The slide to the sides get you in an action mode to want to do something. We're removing ourselves from that. If I have to, I will, but that's not what I'm going to have to do, because if we're all still in roles, I can't be the example if I do something like that. Which is why you'll never catch me in the crowd anymore. I don't do any shows or nothing. I make music. Eventually, I'll do some shows when the shit fucking stops hitting the fan. Right? Thousands of people. There's like all the people. You don't know. Foot traffic here is like a lot. Right? Like, I just stand in front of my house and the place I'm staying at, and then they took the fence down in front, right? So there was just a tree. Originally there was like these hedges, and then you can walk through the gate. So there was no gate. It was just a gate here in between the stairs going upstairs and then coming to my door. So only the gate doors there and the tree, because they took the hedges out. So people were just, there's so much foot traffic just walking onto the property. Oh, look, cats. They would ignore the gate that you open to come in, and just because there's no gate next to the tree piece, they just walk in. They completely ignore, jump on the grass, come right to your front door. Oh, these are your cats? They just come into the yard. I had to set up a whole thing outside. It says, please don't touch the cats. I wanted to put, because but I didn't. With a camera, with a solar light that goes off and all this crazy shit. Just because the light will only go off if you get within the yard piece. And we put up the little fence. They still come right up to the fucking gate. People come off the train. They just walk by. If anything happens, you might never see these people again. Even though it's just all the time. As you go deeper into the area, it's crazier. We talk about it all the time. Some of the front doors to some of the, I guess they'd be buildings. They're 3-story buildings. You'll have like the pizzeria. You'll have a door that leads upstairs out front. Right next to it, it'll be like a door that leads upstairs. You'll see the fire escape for the 2 floors upstairs. Then right next to it, like the paint center. Then the hardware shop. Then another door that goes up, and then another door next to that. If you open it, it's someone's living room. The foot traffic on Morris Park is like thousands of people a day. Thousands. It's insane. I don't even know anyone here anymore. Everyone, it's different. Everything's different. For me, though, my to be the example, right? I have to get my shit together and then get up out of here. And how would you do that? Well, there's like a point where the rubber meets the road spiritually, where I have to have faith in the next part of this journey. Everybody knows my story, and you're supposed to, maybe it could be helpful to your story. And you could see how the attachments work, and then how we disattach. And, oh, well, Frank did this, but I could do this because my scenario is slightly different. That's what this whole thing is about. So I have this thing with how my life is playing out. From the one bedroom, I'm more helpful now than I've ever been my whole life with others and myself. I love me. I love my wife. I love my cats. I love all you guys. This is great. I even had to go back and love thy enemies, right? Doesn't mean I got to fucking take long walks with you holding hands and hot showers. All I got to do is be like, look, I love you, and it's all good. Go live your life. Go have a great fucking everything. I want you to just, even the bad guys, go have a great everything. Stop being bad guys. Stop hurting each other. Love yourself a little more. Go hug, handshake. Go fucking cliff diving and go swim in a pool together and have a fucking Sunday brunch together. Play music you both like and have a party where everyone can just hang out and fucking be themselves. Not hiding behind the masks, because really behind the masks are just afraid people. And the afraid people are just, they've just been programmed, and they have to unprogram. And it's really difficult to do that. And others aren't ready to do that quite yet. And as the observer, we have to look at this, do what we love to do and create, pull away from it, and have faith and belief as source that this shit's going to manifest properly. In my scenario, I know, or feel I know, what is owed to me etherically, spiritually, physically. That timer is ticking and is down to like 4 seconds, right? So there will be an answer. And I would have to believe that it's going to be in my favor, period. On the level I'm going to need to do the things I need to do as an ambassador for Mother Earth in the next round. Because I'm not going into the next step and going, well, I'm going to get old and eventually I'll be 60 and I'm going to die. No. We're going the other way. And I have to have belief and faith in this weird structure inside. I gotta be like, nah, man, I am getting healthier. I am getting better. And I have to keep telling myself this. And then it's keeping me. I lost 6 pounds the day I purged, and I kept it off. Like 6 full pounds are gone, not coming back. I've been doing my squats every day on the squat board. Even if I try to do 12 in one shot. It really burns. Oh, it burns. But Paul is like, bro, I lay with you in bed at night. Your love handles are gone. You only have it a month. What do you mean they're gone? There's no chubby wubs on the side. You can't do that. It's actually turning into a fucking wraparound muscle. And she's like, yo, what the fuck? I said, well, that's what I really look like. My whole life, I was a muscular, good looking fucking dude and shit. I said, it's hard. The body falls apart. But now it's coming back together again. Because I don't believe in the going out the other way. We're not built to live, pay taxes, breed, get married, die, whatever. We're not built. That's not what the human is built for. That's not what we're built for. We're built to house source. So if you're still in the conditioning of, no, you got to break the system, break the code, turn it around. One step here, one little baby step there, one slide to the left, one pivot to the right will get you into position on the other end. Little changes create big waves of change on the other side. Stop bullshitting yourself and fucking stop wasting time. Stop wasting time. I waste a lot of time, and then I'll waste like 2 days, and you'll go, Frank. I'm like, if any one of my friends saw me like this, they would be like, dude, you might need to go to the doctors and talk to somebody. And I would look at them and go, get the fuck out of here. What I'm doing is like, that's like my my like right before the butterfly becomes the butterfly, like it's caterpillar and changes inside the cocoon. That's like my cocoon day. When I come out of it, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, the song's available, and I wrote all this, got that done, all this is done, check this was done, the website. Shouts to the people that bought stuff off the website. If you bought something off the website, send me a picture with you in the outfit, in whatever you got, the shirt or having coffee or a sticker, whatever, and I'll amalgamate them and I'll build some cool shit for us. I had to relearn everything. I did nothing when it comes to special effects, graphics, nothing. And now I've the only one been doing it for the last couple of years. I've learned from watching what others can do. Nick Zervos being one of my best buds. He's amazing at everything he does, like when it comes to all that cool shit. And then I'm with KG, who's a master of alchemy and all kinds of other crazy stuff. And I'm watching this and I'm going, you know what? I got to step out of my stupid box and I got to start learning how to do it. I start learning how to do all this crazy stuff. I got no time for other nonsense. So I know we can't be aware of it all, even if you want to go into the rabbit hole, but understand it as like I'm going into the rabbit hole, and I understand that I'm going into the rabbit hole and I'm going to pull myself out and be aware, oh, that was crazy stuff. And then use discernment of what's totally ridiculous, what fits the mold, what feels like truth and what didn't. And then just pull the piece you need and throw everything else away. Watch the cartoon, watch the whatever, enjoy the show, get your popcorn, but know what you're watching. It's scripted. So when you come to someone like me who's like doesn't want to hear any of it, and you're like, did you know in the COVID shots? Yes. Like we're generalizing now. Don't bring me into the details of the stupid. We already know what they were doing. It's fucking snake venom, period. No, well, it's technically, I know they were going to use the Constitution against you because you'd no longer be human, classified as human, what a human actually is. So you just lose your rights. That's how they were going to override it. I'm on the higher end watching them going, yeah, that's not going to work for me. And then on the other side, they're making cyborgs and chimeras. That's what they're going to turn you into. And slaves. That's it. So when you say to me, oh, but what about, I don't care. They're not going to do it to me. I'm a different type of being. I'm sharing this space with everyone, but my job is to lock this thing, right? Where you're like, bro, what are you talking about? That's so insane. He's got balls of steel, but whatever. There's a million of us out there. I'm just the one on the mic screaming and fearless. There's one for every kind of personality and energy and vibration if you're not feeling mine. But mine has to be like this because I'm in the Bronx here. And if I'm not like this, they'll run over me here. They'll run over me and I won't let them do that. Right? We're not going there. We've already done all that shit. People want fucking hope and love and faith. They want to be fucking hugged and coddled and told it'll be okay. We're not going to war and you're not going to have to work and fucking pay taxes and die your whole life. And no, the giant snake venom monster that's fucking hiding in the dark isn't coming out to eat babies and fucking sacrifice things and have us clapping and watching their award shows like we're fucking dumb robots. No, we're not doing that no more. No, monsters are real, but guess what? There are things above the monsters that come and make sure the monsters are kept in check by getting rid of them. Right? You don't live with the snakes, but you don't murder every snake. Snakes could live in a fucking shared environment, but you ain't living inside here. And you ain't going to be on my fucking lawn. And I don't give a fuck what anyone says because I have cats and I have Paula. And anything that could bite me or injure one of us and we die instantly and get eaten, you need to go. I don't give a fuck if you were here first or whatever. We're all here together. Do you understand? All right. If there's a venomous, poisonous fucking thing right here, I'm not going to be like, oh, Jesus, let him live. No, you're dead. I'm going to transmute you like I would transmute any other fucking demon and monster. Too bad. I wouldn't let a man come in the house and punch me in the face. Why would I let a dog come in here and bite me and my cat and kill one of my cats? Let's not be ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. I still don't want to do that to anyone, though. You can be both. you can be both. You know, here's a hard truth. Some of us have to eat meat because of our DNA. You have to, or you get sick, because everything else is already polluted. So it's not like I have a super fruit that I could eat in the Bronx where I could be like, bro, I could grow this in the corner, secretly eat it, and I don't have to eat the fucking chemically whatever. I got to go to the fucking butcher because I can't trust anything from the fucking supermarket. So I got to go from a hunter to my butcher, and then I got to go directly to him. It's a little more expensive. It's a little more crazy. However, I feel amazing, right? And I don't want animals to die inside of cages and really fucked up ways and whatever. And I'm not supporting that. My guy doesn't get it from that. However, I still need to eat it. Ayahuasca was she was like, yo, some of you have to eat meat because of your DNA. You have more of this in you, and it's activated. So your body reacts to it. Other people can do that. They're living in different climates in different areas. Like you're living in the long cold, like half the fucking year or more. It's freezing and sucks. And then it gets good for a little bit, and it's so pretty and so nice. And then allergies so bad that you want to fucking kill yourself. And then hot concrete. You know what that smells like? It smells like a fucking hobo's dead ass. Okay? All the time in the city. You don't get fragrant, lovey smells. You got to go to the fucking Bronx Garden for that. Or you got to plant fucking some roses around your house because it's just cement. We have to do what we have to do. But I can still respect and love you and not be part of something and be part of something else and still get the job done in this environment. Right? People choose sides and teams, and right away they want to fucking fight each other. Well, you should die. It's like, no, dude, I'll die if I don't eat meat and I eat everything else but meat, I'll be all right for a little while. Do you know how big my head looks on a little tiny skinny body? At 165 pounds, my head looks way too big. My body would look like, back in the day, it would look like Rambo when he came out and ripped his shirt off. It was just ripped at 165 pounds, but my head would look the same size as it is now, right? And I'm like 205 pounds now. It would just be ridiculous. So I would look sickly and weird, right? It wouldn't function. I wouldn't function properly. You would think, oh yeah, but you lost weight and you're lean. I'm not getting what I want. I feel like I'm not getting color and I'm turning green. That's not what you want. Eventually, on the other end, it's just sunlight that does it. Sunlight, water, photosynthesis, whatever you want to call it, will have that ability across the board. So there'll be no more argument. It's not like a black and white thing, right? There's gray spaces in everything because it's all real. So what works for you might not work for me. However, there is something for everyone, and I want to remind you of that. Okay, so I'm going to kind of start rounding it out now. Bitcoin, gold, silver, any combination of those, all three, fucking awesome. Even if it's small, so small. We talk about this. I'm not going to fucking stop talking about it. Don't talk to me about any other crypto except Ethereum. I don't want to. I'll never discuss the other ones because they're all. I have all these people that are like, oh, the Nasara, Gasara, and XRP and XLM. I'm watching them in the background, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Those are all still to have a little, fine. But here's what kills the discussion. Centralized or decentralized. If it's centralized, you're asking for banks again. But here, decentralized, you're the man, right? So it's like no superpowers. More, sir. May I have some more? You can't have your pudding unless you eat your meat. Or I'm just having a fucking steak or whatever. I'm eating the cake. I don't need you. That's what we want. It's Wild West at first. Yo, keep your eye on fucking swivel. It's better than someone else taking your shit. Yes, you're going to need it for a while. Watch what happens. The system's going to collapse. Everything's going to back out. You're like, oh, I'll keep a little bit cash here. That should be okay. They banned the cash. I'm going to keep a little bit of this over here in the bank. And then I got my whole stash in the bank. And then they're like, oh, you can't take out more than 500 a day. And you can't come here every day and do it. Maybe you can only do it from, you used to be able to do that. But now they notice you're doing it. So it's every 3 days, every 5 days. Oh, I have 100,000 in the bank and I'm going to take it out because you're not allowing me to buy crypto with any of my money. And you're like, take your money and get the fuck out. So give me my check for 100,000. And they go, well, we don't have it. So you're going to actually have to come back in like 15 business days to get my money out of here. You should have my money sitting right there. No, that's not how this works, sir. We only have barely 7% maybe of the amount of funds that we should have running as a bank in cash flow at any one time, but only in 4-hour clips, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 2. Like, you're like, wait, what the fuck is this? Once again, corporate devils. Who wants to deal with this nonsense? But I need to hook it up to my Swift account to go to the left. And if I need to go to the right, I need to go to the right because the kids are going to, you're going to see it close down. The system's going to close. And no matter what you did, they're going to get you. It's going to affect you. That's how this works when it completely goes down. So then your preparation is key, right? I got salt, I got pepper, I got ketchup, I got hamburgers, buns, salt. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. I got it all already. So if the shit hits the fan, I'm ready to go. And then every layer and every turn of the knob. So maybe you don't want all your eggs in one basket. So when people are like, yeah, should you put it all in Bitcoin? I don't know. You got silver? I can't afford gold, so I think I have like gold chain, a gold necklace piece. You could always use links to that to pay for shit if it really got that far out of hand. I think that's 3 days of darkness that people keep talking about, where they're going to shut everything down or whatever. I think when everything comes back on, we're not going to have a shit hit the fan scenario. What it's going to do is appear that way. They shut everything off, everything comes back on, and all the new stuff's connected. It's gold backed. I'm convinced. If anybody's been watching the debt clock page, they've been doing these crazy things that unlock these fucking codes that are there, right? And if you go there and you've been watching this, they've been doing this thing with the Wizard of Oz and Follow the Yellow Brick Road. And they had, so here's the thing with the Wizard of Oz, right? And the gold and like the Tin Man. So the Tin Man he was silver standing on the paved gold as this thing. It said unlock here. And you go up there and you look and it says the Wizard of Oz in this holographic thing that I'm looking at on the debt clock page. And then all I thought of is, oh, ounce of silver. Tin Man was silver, standing on the gold in ounces. Everything's done in that shit. And then if you look, the U.S. and the USA, I think we spoke about this already. U.S. is the corporate system, has got a zero gold value to it. It's like not worth anything, your dollar. And then nobody's even over there. The gold, it says USA dollar. Then there's a gold ounce value to it. So when they're talking about bringing back the gold, like they're showing clues throughout the whole thing. We talked about this a long time ago. The debt clock was running backwards at one point. It might still be. I was just looking. I was interested in this other shit with the Wizard of Oz and Follow the Yellow Brick Road, and that the United States has the most gold out of the entire world now. We got all our gold back quietly. And why is Trump, by the way, flying around in Air Force One? Can anybody say why the presidential seal is on everything when he's talking? I just want to say this. I think he's still president. And they all know this. And that's why the script has to play out. And then he's going to look like he's their commander in chief or something on the other end. Regardless, the story has to play out. So I'm curious at how this end part of the story. We're in the last part. By next year at the election, we'll have had earthquakes, fires, destruction, war, multiple wars on all fronts, homeland and afar. It's just crazy. Spiritual shit. They might bring out Blue Beam, try some stupid shit. More UFO sightings. Maybe inner Earth. Right? You got to have just no fear and go walk through it. And then it's like a tunnel of distraction. And then you just walk through the tunnel. When you pop out on the other side, that's your ascension into the other part. So if you could witness it, kind of gain a basic understanding of it on the high level, right? They always tell you just, oh, I found Buddha. I went to Buddha. I met Buddha. And he tells me, love yourself more. That's the only thing it's the only thing you want to say to me. You don't want to be like, hey, what's up, man? No, just love yourself more. Fuck, I came all the way here and that's all you got to say. Well, obviously you need a little self-love. Still, look at you. You're fucking arguing points. Just there's like an understanding in the details of the one thing, love yourself more. If you put that at the top of your head and said, love yourself more, and then looked at how much you actually love yourself in a love-o-meter back at yourself, you'd realize maybe you have one toe full of love. You're not giving yourself the love you need. Trust me. I was in there like, I love myself. I'm a rock star, bitch. I was like, wait a second. They're like, dude, you guys harm yourselves by self-talk and not believing and then disconnecting and thinking that you're not. And it just goes lists on. And that love-o-meter goes down. And you could love others and be really great for that. And then, be in a horrible depression yourself on the inside. And that's fucked up. So then you realize what you got to go on this path, and you're like, well, what does that mean? It's like, well, I'm gonna just say this. I didn't know. So these guys try to book me for a show, and I've done the show already before a while ago, but certain people stopped talking to me because they thought I was out of control back then. Oh, he's nuts. All this bullshit, right? So they stopped talking to me, and then all of them started having me back on. Oh, we had things go on and whatever, and now new people are there that have nothing to do with those people. So I've been rocking with the new people because I'm just going where, I guess, I don't know, Mother Ayahuasca and my higher self need me to be. I just let it flow out, right? So they booked me, and then booked me on a holiday, and then disappeared on me. I couldn't get in touch with anyone from the show the day of the show. Started an hour before. Can't wait to be whatever. Never got a call, nothing. Now, it's a holiday. It's a day off. It's beautiful outside. I completely took off this section of the day, made sure the house was empty so I could do 3 hours with you. And then nothing. So I hit you up a few more times, and the show time passes. Everybody knows that sucks. You're like, fuck, whatever. So old me would have been like, what the fuck? What the motherfucker? Like, completely losing it. I didn't lose it. I wrote nicely. I guess I hope nothing happened to you personally, but I tried 3 different people. So and they're all separate. So nobody's responding to me. And 2.5 hours, 3 hours later, they all start responding to me like, oh, you just slipped through the cracks and whatever. Oh, we'll get you booked again soon. Like, as if I'm a nothing piece of shit. Okay. So I just didn't respond to any of them. I X them in my mind off the list. I don't need you. You need me. I don't give a fuck. I'm not being rude. What I mean is, I'm better than that. That you're going to disrespect me like that, all of you? Okay, so they try to rebook me a couple of times now. Now it's a couple of times in a row, and I appreciated it, and I was humbled because the nice things they said to me. And then I was like, that's great. I'm completely cool with everything that went on. You guys explained yourselves. It was a bullshit explanation. I completely think they're full of shit. That's not neither here nor there, right? I'm better than that. You're not paying me. I get nothing from this except to get the information out. And by you disrespecting me, thinking, oh, yeah, well, he needs us to get out there. I do my own show. I don't need you. I got an entire Fearless family. I'd rather just talk to them and then just call it a day. Right? So what are you trying to say? So this is how problems get kicked up. But then it shows you where the level of consciousness is on these people. To think that someone's time, effort, energy, like if this was how, what if I was selling a book? What if I was trying to desperately get you to connect to me so I could make money over here because I was desperate, like most people are. And it's true. I'm not any better than anyone else. I don't make a lot of money. I'm regular. But I want more just like everyone else, but I'm not begging. I'm not out here begging and fucking, oh, please give me. I'm not. Look, here's the information. If you're going to disrespect the guy sending the information like that, what are you going to do with the information itself? Can you even understand that information? Do you think that he's too high and mighty now that he said, I wrote them a little note and I said, I'm sorry, stop asking me. I'm better. I'm better than that. I took the whole day to give to you. It was a holiday. It was the last one with my family. You fucked up. I didn't. I don't need it that bad. You need more guests like me because you're going to find out these ancient alien guys have it kind of wrong. I've been saying that for the longest fucking time. They take it. Everybody takes it to level UFO and leaves it. No matter how deep you think these fucking shows get is bullshit. We get fucking deep on these details because that's the truth. And I'm not putting us up against that. I'm trying to say is when I do interviews on these shows, the next day the ancient alien guys comes on, or the day before was fucking Cliff High, who gives you 50%, and then I call it his old man fucking condition. He turns it and he says stuff like there's no such thing as reptilians. I'm like, dude, but he says all this other stuff that he's fucking 100% right. So I listen to him because I respect my fucking elders. So it sounds like I'm like, oh, he don't like Cliff High. No, I love Cliff. I fucking love him. But like my grandfather, who at a certain age and point, right? I couldn't tell him shit. But he said a lot of good stuff. But if I went, no, it's not really like that. It's like this, yeah, but high time. There's no proof. I'm like, I'm sitting here with the proof. I'm the proof. I made it. I'm alive. Here's the information. You supposedly a shaman that did things and blah, 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 blah. You don't do that no more. You're an old man. I do it like I'm living in it all the time as a younger guy, specifically built to do that, where you were breaking through. So you're like level 1. I was like level 2 and level 3 of these new guys that are just doing it. And then level 4 are the people that just come in glowing. Like it just keeps going. But all these shows have this characteristic with me. The guy from Ancient Aliens that talks like this, I make fun of him all the time because I'm like, that guy is actually pretty cool, man. But I do his voice because it's when you hear him, you know Ancient Aliens is on. There's a couple other guys that are like that, but I imitate this specific guy. He was on the show once right after me. So I'm like, so I was telling Paula, how many steps am I? And I'm not, this is just like a question I ask myself from that shit. Like all the people that you think are important because they're out there saying all this shit. I'm like the next episode. And I'm being brought back on these shows because the show hosts are fucking fearless. And they're starting to eat the mushrooms and do the psychedelics and take the fearless universe rewards bravery without me ever telling them, by the way. Or maybe they heard me and that's, I don't know. It's just whatever. And they're like, dude, we're bringing you back because we went in and that's what was going on. You've been saying this the whole time. I'm like, I know. I'm not trying to sell you the book. I'm telling you the truth. That's why people, it's like when I was trying to give ayahuasca away for free, I would just say, I'll make it, you drink it, come with me. Okay? And then we'll do this together. They would be like, nah, bro, what are you, fucking weird and gay? You want me to come over and drink this liquid with you? It's like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with people? You sniff cocaine or you do this or you do that, and everybody's got their fucking weird things. I'm like, oh, this could help us. And you're like, oh, it's so weird and I'm not doing it. Okay. I charge $300 for it. Wait, what? I have clients all over the world. I want to do that. What do you mean? Well, I saw some of these people. I saw what they said to you and wrote under your stuff. 5-star Yelp guy, right? What theoretically. And then I go, man, I was trying to get you to do this with me 5 years ago for free. I was begging you. I was begging you as a friend, and just being like, dude, look at this. Oh my God, I can't believe. As a friend, I've never lied. You won't even as a friend take my back and even see what I'm attempting to try to do here. The minute I put a price tag on it, you come fucking running back like, what? This kid's got the holy dose. You're going to see how people flipped here and went from he's a crazy kook to that's my shaman. We have ours. He's right there. And I was like, what? I thought I was crazy. My brother, I'm telling you, he called me the other day and he's like, I don't think you're crazy. I never really thought you were 100% crazy. I was like, he's maybe 50% to 75% out of control, but not 100%. No way. He's like, now I know you're not even slightly crazy. He goes, I might not get into the reptilian stuff. He was like bugging out about that. He goes, but aliens, sure, why not? He goes, did you see the price of butter? So he was yelling that things were up 300%, but they said 7 to 14%. So he went to the store and said to the guy in the store, show me your fucking math. He wigged out. He had a spaz out moment. And I was like, I know what you mean. I'm like, who's doing the math? He's like, if they're doing that with that, and I'm doing this with this, and then you're doing that with that, then obviously there's someone's lying and it's not us. And I'm like, you don't have to be upset like that. They are fucking evil pieces of shit. I'm telling you, the evil encompasses everything from the price of butter to eating babies. I'm telling you right now. And it's not funny, but it's funny because it covers the whole gamut. Everything. Your Bible, who rewrote it, your religious episodes and all your bullshit, all your personal addictions, how things turned out, what they taught you, what they showed you, why they showed that specific thing over and over. It's all been the program and mind control you the whole time, 100%. Don't fucking lie to yourself. They're not cool. Not cool. Got to back out of it 100%. And then just have a knowledge that I know what's going on. I'm aware of it. Shields up, protection. I'm completing my circuit. I feel good. Okay. You want to watch aliens? Let's watch aliens. Oh, bro, you know what's really crazy is those things are the demons that people are like demons are aliens and aliens are demons. That's because those things exist. They really exist. Go look up H.R. Geiger and the guy that created the alien thing. He didn't create it. They came to him and showed themselves. And then he just drew it. Bar behind it. I was like, I know they showed up under fucking mushrooms here and said I was under contract with them. So they, like, I belonged to them. And I was like, dude, yeah, I'm gonna fucking punch one. Like, I got up out of this chair. They came right in the room from where Paula was. It looked like it unfurled in front of the door. And I was like just completely spaced out. And then I was like, nah. And it wasn't as big as it was in the movie. It wasn't that as big. It looked exactly almost. It looked pretty intense. And then I couldn't tell if that was a demon or a fucking ET. But it came. I've seen them in my dreams before. They were eating me before the movie came out. I was 1974 when I was born. I was already having these nightmares of these things. So are they ETs or demons? Could they be evil ET bugs? You know, when you build an outfit, a physical flesh of any kind, anything in the etheric can come in and animate that thing and have whatever that thing is experience, which is why a demon can jump into you. And it was Frank. He jumped into it. It didn't look like Frank. His eyes changed. Is this changed? Is that changed? The demeanor changed? Because it's not me. Right? So you're saying so something could jump in and take over you and animate you? Yeah. Okay, what if I was empty and like I got hit by a car or the frequency gun that we talked about earlier. They use that on me, knock me out of my body. So my body's dying, but not dead. And then they keep my like soul not from being able to get back in the energy that animates me. and they allow the other energy, the demon, to jump in, and the demon just gets up, and now I'm out of my body. If they're able to separate me long enough, I don't know, maybe I stay separate. Maybe I'm dead. That's it. You're gone, but your body's not. Your body's still in 3D. Everybody thinks it's Frank, but there's a demon running it, and you're not sitting in the back. You're gone. So that happens with a lot of these celebrities, man. Yo, I hung out at work as a production guy, a production assistant, but it was like my job was like everyone's go get. Like I could get anything for you, and I would do anything for the people I had to work with. So I had to be with you all the time. So I was around Dave Chappelle for like 2 weeks straight and hung out with a whole group of other people. And I'm not bragging, I was the low guy on the rung, but I was a go-getter. There was a couple of us there, but I was really good at it, and I didn't care that it was you. I loved this stuff, right? So he would tell me all this personal shit and whatever, and I would just hang out with him, listen to it. We'd laugh. He'd make me laugh. He was always nervous around the executives. They were treating him weird. He was like, they always tell me I'm like Eddie Murphy. I don't want to be like fucking Eddie Murphy. I want to be like Dave Chappelle, like he would just scream. But he was really skinny. He wasn't as tall as you would expect, but I'm 5'8", so I'm judging everyone off 5'8". He was a little bit taller than me. That's all I know. I don't know. He wasn't towering over me because I got into a fist fight with fucking Ben Affleck, who was so much bigger than me. He's like gigantic to me. He's gigantic. His fucking head was this big. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Right? So Dave Chappelle ain't not like that. You see this guy, Dave Chappelle, jacked out of his mind, all big, like 6'2", 6'1". I don't remember him being anything like that. Nothing like that. Kind of he's got all the other things. Go watch one of his old movies. I don't give a fuck how you fall into old age and shit. Oof. I don't know, man. There's plenty to go from. So those guys are gone, I think, on the other end. It's like a lot of these celebrities that sell their soul, they just clone them. I hate to talk like this, but they'll clone you, and then the original is gone. Or the original is held over here, and you're not allowed. I could almost imagine in a more crazier world, even, that there's an island area that we're unaware of. Like where there's like a lot going on for like rich people, like uber rich that you don't even know about. And in this area of those people, the fortunate ones, right? Like they fake their own death, or they have the clone just doing it while they're there. Cause what they do, they sell their soul. So then we don't know what cloning you actually does. Is that me? Right. But I've seen, even with me, they're fractals, I want to call them, but what if that's really happening on the planet where there's a clone of me, and it's not a fractal of me on a timeline somewhere, it's literally me. They cloned me and sent my shit to China, and now I'm standing in a room with 8 people I know, but there's 25 others that I don't, and then these dudes that speaking Chinese come running out and they hack one guy to death in front of us with a machete in a fucking corporate building, mind you, right on the ground floor, screaming how we have to listen to them when we wind up like that. And then they just Orvin Hargis or take our organs and do all kinds of crazy fucking degenerate shit to us. Right. But I'll have a dream that was happening. But does my soul have to go there because it's awake now over there and I'm asleep over here? What the fuck is going on with that? You ask Britney Spears, when you hear her fucking ramble, she would say they beat and rape me and kill my fucking clone every night, and there'd be a new one. So you're agreeing to that. So while I'm busy, they're keeping me drugged and whatever, the fractal snaps and sends you to the one they're raping and beating. Right? And then when they kill that one, you don't die and go to heaven or whatever. You just jump out and go back to your body. That's what a lot of these people are saying, man. That's what starts happening. So they make 50 clones of you, and you're selling them off, and you're doing this and that, whatever. And then you're drinking doing rituals and you're doing all kinds of stupid shit. So you're inhabited by maybe a demon or multiple demons or another character. It doesn't have to be a demon. It could be an ET. It could be just something from somewhere else. It could be a part of you that's the dark part. So it's not actually anything from out there. It's actually just you being a fucking complete fractal. The other end comes in. I'm the fucked up one. Like, what's going on there? And then your main one, like the one I am and the one you are watching this, is when you go to bed at night, you're like dreaming of this shit, but you're really there. It's really happening because you're like, oh, so real. You know, I jumped out of one of the windows and I was holding on to the side of the building and I cut my hands, but I made it. My feet, they were fucking hurt when I landed, but I ran at top speed. People were taking pictures of me and then I woke up and I said, Jesus, I was soaked with sweat everywhere. And Paula was like, what is wrong with you, bro? Why is that always a problem when you lay down before like 4 o'clock in the fucking morning sometimes? And I'm like, oh, I'm up all fucking night. I sleep all day. Maybe because they're pulling me over there and it's nightmarish for that other character. I saw what they were doing to Paula. We discussed it with the South Carolina trip. They said, Frank, you could work with the 2 dudes that are having obvious AI problems. The girl that's a pillar of light has to stay at doing what she's doing. We suggest leaving her alone, and that leaves Paula. And I said, you don't have to ask me. I'm always going to go to Paula. I don't care what's going on. I'm always with my wife, right? So then they go, okay, she's in the other room. I go in the room, and as I open the door, she's in the bed, and it looks like the fucking Exorcist, guys. Like, I was like, yo, what the fuck is going on in here? There was a separate bedroom on the other side of this Airbnb in this big house. It was fucking awesome in there. And then I open the door and I see 2 reptilians just looking at me, a mantis being, a gray. I see all these fucking amalgamated looking children. They were like half breeds. They looked kind of like Paula and then kind of like whatever they were trying to make. They were everywhere. I walk in and she's on the bed screaming and writhing. And I'm like, so Aya says to me, you can look, but you can't interfere. So I look over at the reptilian, put her in this, looked like a canister, like a tube, and it was clear here so you could see your face. And then it separated your legs. So, and then it had like an entry exit port right at the bottom part, right? So I was like, what the fuck is going on? And they were inserting fetuses into her and pulling them out, like early and developing them, pulling them out. So I said, what are you fucking doing? It looked right at me and was like, oh, you're really here. I was like, wait, what? I can interact with them? And Aya was keeping me from like grabbing one of them and doing it. They weren't the big monstrous ones. They were like reptilian men that were like smaller versions of those big fucked up ones. They were like science ones. And then the mantis was just like, it wasn't saying anything and was part of the whole thing. So the gray and the reptilian were working in front of her. And then they would fill the tank she was in. You could just see the face with this pink liquid, right? It looked like amniotic fluid. So they would drown her in it. So she would drown and then realize you can breathe under this, but you obviously drown. What movie have we seen something like that in? The Abyss. I'm pretty sure that's the movie where they had that in it. So I always yell at her when she's on the Aya, you have to breathe through your nose, out through your mouth, Wim Hof style. And she's always like, looks like she's giving birth to like something. She's like, I'm like, you can't do this. She's a little Asian girl. And she's going, I'm like, you're going to fucking faint. Stop doing that. And her face turns bright red. And you're like, oh, bro, mouth now. You're not giving birth to anything. Looking over there, she's fucking, they're putting it in, incubating it immediately. It's getting bigger. They just pull it out. This reptilian guy with like a clawed hand stuck his hand up into my wife and pulled out whatever they were trying to make baby wise. And then they incubated over there. And then all of these beings were around. So then Aya's like, I won't let you interfere. Like that's happening in the now over in this spot. So I'm like, wait, what does that mean? She's here on the bed. I see Paula's on the bed. She's just on the bed writhing. But overlaying the whole thing is this other image. And they're like, yeah. So is that a clone of her? Is that etherically happening? It can't be both our imaginations at the same time. I just walked in the room with no fucking clue. I live with her. She had no clue that was going on. Guaranteed. I can stop this right now. She's like, yeah, you can't though. So how can they see me and I'm interacting with it? It's not a hologram. You're not showing me something that did happen. You're showing me something happening in the now moment. Correct? Over there, but now, or clone happening now. So that's why there's an overlay. It's a version of her there, having it done to her. And now it's overlaying on her, and the ayahuasca is taking the fractal back. It's helping her bring it home. Look at the trauma and then go, it'll be okay. Give me a puppy face. Come over here. Come on, you want to see everybody on TV? Look, I'm up over here. We watched The Incredibles the other night, me and the kitten, and we had the best time. She was staring at the TV like, I was like, isn't this amazing? It's a story about us. Anyway, so all these things happened. I interacted with these beings, though, and I said, don't you be bringing these kids around because this is my wife. So you're going to show up here in like 40 years and be like, we want you to now, I don't know, breastfeed these fucking kids and be a mother to them. I'm going to knock each and every one of yous out. You watch what I do to you. I've always had this contempt for them, not for the children, for the scientists doing this. But then don't be bringing them over here because you don't know what you're doing and they're not reacting to you properly. Don't ask us to raise them because I'm going to fuck you up. I'm like, you're going to get it I don't care no more because now I'm aware of it. I'm like, you keep taking our children. Look what you're doing. And then Aya's like, dude, shut up. So I'm quiet. And she's like, you know why it doesn't work? I'm like, yeah, it doesn't work. It's like bad magic. And she looked at me and was like, exactly. And she goes, Paul is not giving it willingly. You can't, they want her essence and they want to take it because she's a mother goddess and wants to put it in their race of beings. But they didn't ask and she's not willingly giving it because now you can't take that part. You can't take that from a being. You can't just take that. It just won't work. You could take it and do it, and then it doesn't work. And you do it 100 times. It never worked. Why did it never work? I don't know why. Did you ask for Paula's help? Did you come to her and say, oh, the whole world's ending here, and we need your help? Would you please assist us in this? And if she, with intent and beauty and love in her heart, said, I want to help as a creator being, guess what? It's going to work. But forcing her to do it, hey, baby, don't go out. It's nighttime. Jeez. Little baby Lola. Sorry, the kitten just jumped out the window like, we're going for a ride. I can't. I got to get her fixed, and the appointment's open tomorrow. So my people are like, we'll call you in the morning. Just keep her in the house. I'm like, I think she's acting sexy in the other room. Paul is like, there's something wrong with my kitten. I'm like, she's discovering herself already. It's only been a few months. They grow up so goddamn fast. Lexi, I love you. Look, as I look through, it sounds like people know exactly what I'm talking about. This is crazy. See, this is why I love. Thank you, Lucky. Thank you. Oh, man. Dude, there's so many experiences out there that I've had. What's up, Michael? It's good to see you. So you guys know already what I'm saying, because I think inside we know. We can't not know on that level. We're too powerful. Like, we're too potent. It wouldn't make sense, right? Would it make sense? Like, we're connected to certain things, and other things we kind of blow off because it's kind of like, yeah, that could be happening. But really, cloning centers, this and that. Yeah, I've had the dreams. Like, my father was in the same place in the dreams that I've been talking about, this mall place that I just mentioned. Paula knows all about it. You guys know all about it. Some of you have literally had the experience and been describing it back to me. Other people recently have been talking about this place, right? And then my dad calls me and tells me all this crazy shit and that he gets shot in that place after I just had one of me shooting someone in that place. And I'm like, and then I talked about this in the last show, the experience I had. And then all of a sudden I was like, I was finished with that kind of version of the character. And then I had to like let the knife go and do, why'd you do that? And I don't know. It was crazy. Absolutely insane. But we can handle that. We Starseed warriors from other everythings come here to overcome this trauma and the psychotic effects of it, living in the upside down when it's really supposed to be the right side up. But they can't just pull the matrix away. Like, if you pull the curtain back 100% and see the guy behind the curtain, a lot of people just have like fainting goat syndrome and have heart attacks and die. You can't see that. You can work your way up to it. I might be able to see it. It's even going to freak people like me out because you're seeing it for your flesh for the first time, whatever that might be. Oh, the whole thing. I told you, when I saw the AI, I went up to the eye and then looked into the eye, and it was just a screen. It was an AI for sure, but then inside was a room inside the top with the eye looking. There were all these little gray beings working at desks and shit, trying to keep all the data correct and stuff. And I was like, son of a bitch, it's a fucking lie. It's a projection. It's a hologram. Everybody stop looking at the fucking projection. It's the story of the cave and the shadow and coming out of the fucking cave. You think the shadow on the wall is what's going on the outside. And then you walk outside and you're like, oh, that's not what's happening at all. Like, it literally doesn't even look like the shadow out here. And we've been afraid of that the whole time. It's fake. It's a robot. It's being run by these little fucks. Get them. Like, it's a simple fix. Really, it is. But if I pull back the curtain and you saw it, can you handle it? 90% of the people that come here, and I hate to put a fucking thing on it, they're like, yo, I want in on what you're doing. And they go in and see it and lose their shit completely. And they realize, bro, it's not Indiana Jones. Like, we're teams of dudes, and some people aren't ready for that. Like, can you face the demon? I don't know. Did you defeat yours? If you defeated yours, I would probably bet money you'll smack the shit out of one attacking you randomly or trying to influence you. No problem. Would you be able to defeat a reptilian spiritually? Sure. Why not? Resist domination. You can't enter my body. I'll fucking smash you. They go to enter your body. You literally capture their energy because you're an energy master. You learn how to do this stuff and you send them somewhere else. And then they're confused and all fucked up and they don't even know how to find their way back to you, and they won't even try it again. Right? And then on the bigger end, you kick them out and then follow them back to their body while your body's fully protected. And then you smack them there and send them back in. Boom, slam, judo slam right back into your body, and don't come back, prick. Like, you got to start thinking on a higher level. When you hear me curse like that, I don't have hateful intention behind it. It's like, dude, you fucking around. Now you have to find out. Like, you came up in here and like you took a poo and then you started flinging it around the room. I don't care where you're from, what your anything is. You're a thing flinging poo inside my place, and that's not allowed on any level. So call it whatever you want. If I gotta fucking tie you to a chair and shut you the fuck up, drag you out, call someone to help me with it, like whatever. I don't care. We're going to handle our business. You got to handle your business internally. And when you start doing that, you realize, hey, I'm better than that. I'm better than that. I'm better than that. Yeah, I had this thing where I had a business deal that was going really positive in my direction. And then it was worth it for everyone involved. Very worth it, especially for what it was. But the person decided to say, I'm worth more. This is my price. The price was outrageous and ridiculous in the two positions, right? It's like you can't get anything done now that you're being greedy. That's being greedy. What she was doing was being greedy. However, she was having the moment that we all come to, and she was like a not my friend, but like fearless type stuff, and we know each other on Facebook. Always send love at each other. And I was like, yo, that's just not going to work in any way, shape, or form. And this is why. And then she was like, I'm worth more than that, though. And I go, I agree. I think you are, too. But I also think you just priced yourself out of the game completely. And you will not, unless you're the head, unless you're the company with no middleman, then you can do that. But you can't do that here. So she was like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't want to be part of this. There's nothing I could do, but I love what you just did. Even though, because you are worth it, which she discussed with me, and the why and the reason I understood. It just wasn't good business. But am I worth more? Yeah, maybe you are. This just wasn't work for me. So there's no hate involved. I love you to death. Everything's still groovy. Just not business with that one thing. But at the same time, I witnessed one of the greatest things. You see, I witnessed that. I witnessed you come online, and I'm like, oh, look at that. It's working. Because I need you with me, with us. I need us together to make this happen. Okay. Because we're all here together, right? Like we're all here together. So I don't want to do this alone. I don't want to be Space Jesus by myself. I don't need to be Superman and whatever. This is a team thing. And we're together, and it's a family event. It's a coming together. We're coming back online. So the more people back online, the better off I am, because there's more of you. And then I get more. You don't understand from my perspective. Think of the comic books and the movies and the stories that get passed down through generations, and your versions of the stories and your creative things, and the music that I wind up making that I'm totally unaware that's coming, and the music that you're going to be making that's going to be maybe better than everything anybody's ever heard. I get to witness all this and be part of it. Well, we're not going to get there unless you pop off. I need everybody to wake up. Right? I need everybody on their A game so we can do this. Okay, now, with that positive amount of energy, I leave you with this. Everything's going to be crazy the next few days. It might even get really crazy because it's Halloween. Keep your black cats inside the house. Keep them away from the rituals. Right, Oscar? I'll get you some food in 30 seconds. I want you to meditate a little extra. Send it in all the directions that would need it, right? It could be directed by source. You could just be like, look, here's the love I'm sending as I ground myself into the planet to help the scenario, but there's so much happening. I wouldn't even know where to start and what to send love to, but I love me. I love the people around me that need that extra bit. And then it's infinite. I'm grounded. Send it to wherever it's fucking needed. You separate it into whatever percentage points you want to, source. You're the source of the whole thing. That's on you. Like, I'm too small for that. That's why I'm with you. But that's our jobs together. And they'll just be like, you got it. Send angels to help. You got it. Send whatever, right? Just send the devil a piece of cake. You want the devil to have a piece of cake? Cake coming, motherfucker. Right? Like, we're going to do it. Just send it in all directions. And then love yourself more. Enjoy yourself. I want you to laugh uncontrollably. Oh, just go nuts. Have a good time. Enjoy yourself. Laugh at all the stupid shit that you do. Remove those layers. Face the traumas. Look into the eyes of the monster in the closet and realize that it ain't shit. It's just a projection of the fear that you might have been harboring since you were a kid, holding it in your left kidney, and then we're going to fucking hold it here. So now my back hurts and my shoulder hurts here, and then my neck, face, and back. Just let it go. Release the rope. What is David Lee Roth? Boozy, boozy, bop. Liddy bop. Right? That's it. Let the world take care of it. It's not all on you. Okay? But you're the hero in your adventure, so get to heroing. Do your meditations. Send it out there. Negate all the rituals that are going on. Send energy, love energy to surround every dark ritual, and then just go, yeah, send it, wreck it, just whatever. Send Care Bears there and have them do the Care Bear stare and destroy all monsters. Your imagination is what does this. We overcome them and beat them quicker if we do more of this, like more meditation together, more work together. You see these guys hosting these big meditations and stuff. You get enough people meditating at one thing, it's going to work. It's going to work in our favor. We're not sending out prayers to God, help us, God. We're not doing that. We're directing the energy. We're sending the meditative energy like this to you. There's no middleman. All right. I love you. Stay fearless. Remember, the universe rewards bravery. Check out Sons of the Suns music. It's high frequency, futuristic nostalgia. Kevin and I are going into the deep end of the pool constantly, recreating ourselves song after song, from everything from hip hop to electronic to rock to mix to alternative. It's all there. There's a little something for everyone. Go to IamWeAreFearless.com and show your support. And stay fearless. The universe rewards bravery. Thank you, everyone. And guess what? We'll be back in a day or two, or I might just pop up. So don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification button. Hit it. Hit it. I love you. Stay brave, everyone. Peace.